Jijakli. I am Deputy CEO of Credendo. What is Credendo? It's the Belgian credit agency. So our mission is to support the export transaction from the Belgian company worldwide. So we provide credit insurance, we provide financing, we also provide insurance for investment abroad. And so we are also doing business with Nigeria. I think we are going to speak about it. My responsibilities are the sales, the business development, and also the representation and marketing and communication. Very nice to be here.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. My name is Ebenezer, Boluwade, the actual commissioner for Agri and Food Security in Ekiti State. Ekiti, just like we call ourselves like a republic, it's subnational between the national. And Agri actually occupy a strategic part now as we do what we call shared prosperity agenda for our people. So food is key, both for the local and for the international community. On the agri financing, I had 15 years experience in financing farmers, so I can understand the challenges and opportunities that I have. And the state is not as much as possible to accelerate, innovate, and scale our production of food system within the state. And that's what we're doing. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bart. I work for EDFI. So we are part of the European Association for Development Finance Institutions, offering financial solutions, loans, and equity to agribusinesses, companies in the agriculture sector, but also in renewable energy. We are set up by the European EDFIs to tackle investments that they cannot do themselves. So what that means, we do investments in more earlier stage projects, higher risk, smaller ticket sizes, and we're funded by the European Union, who are our sole investor. So what we're trying to do with the management company is this split between Electrify for renewable energy and Agrifi for sustainable agriculture. Is that we developed a focus on making impact on the livelihoods of smallholder farmers. So that is the red line through all of our investment decisions. So we're trying to stimulate local sectors across Africa, but also in South America and Asia, focused on developing the agriculture sector, connecting value chains, with really the smallholder impact in mind. So maybe you mentioned something about the product offer. So we offer loans, equity, ticket sizes between 1 to 5 million, and we really stand out by offering long-term products, so just something that's not necessarily available on the market, so between 5 to 10 years.
Okay, thank you. My first question is around financial intelligence. Considering we're talking about agriculture here, what do we have in place to help farmers on a local level understand what financial intelligence is and means to them, and what are we doing to make sure that their businesses are bankable? Yes, please.
Okay, so what we do, we use Nigeria, especially Ekiti, as an example. As I have said, 80% of our farmers are smallholders, between 1 to 5 hectares of land. So it's very difficult for you to advance finance because they are scattered over everywhere. So what we try to do is to put them together, cluster them together, so that what we are doing Ekiti to ensure that we can advance credit, input, then as we have mentioned, the financial intelligence has to do with extension services. So we cluster them in the cooperative form and ensure that they have access to the financing aspect and also the input as well.
Okay, and for you, Bart, how does that apply? What are you guys doing with regards to financial intelligence and cascading that down to the users?
Yep, so I'll give you a concrete example of a type of investment that we supported in Nigeria. It's a company called Boluwade, which might be familiar to many of you here. So they set up a model that's really trying to link farmers to markets, while at the same time providing assistance when it comes to input financing and economical advice. So that the company helps or assists farmers in the northern regions in Nigeria, where far urban centers that struggle connecting to a large buyer group, because there is a lot of international and local demand for agricultural products. Just that a lot of the production goes to waste. And so what we try to do is really join our products with technical assistance as well, to really work for each of our investee companies on identified projects that could be impactful for them when it comes to doing tailored product development, doing trainings for farmers to pursue climate-smart growing techniques with climate change. The weather impact on the agricultural sector is enormous in certain countries. And so it's important to assist farmers in how to defend themselves against these elements. What we also try to do is there's a huge tech sector in Nigeria with a lot of untapped potential. That includes AgTech, so agricultural platforms that really find a digital way to connect farmers to an international group of buyers, working on both local food security and export income. And so through that also trying to improve the quality of inputs, reducing use of pesticides, etc. So those are just a few examples of the type of trainings that we try to include in our products that we offer.
Okay, thanks for that. Nabil, how about you?
We are not at the moment directly supporting the transaction in the agriculture sector, but what I can say is that we are following the economical situation in Nigeria. And there on that we gave a rating in the country, meaning that we are confident about the macro and about the sustainability of the economy. So it's nice to say that first of all, Nigeria, as everybody know here, is a very attractive market in terms of size. It is probably the most important economy, at least in terms of GDP, in terms of population, with strengths and weakness. And I would say that the biggest strength is also one part of the weakness of the country. It is the fact that most of the incomes is coming from the revenue from the oil and gas sector, which is far from agriculture, of course, but on the other hand, it brings a lot of revenue, but it's very relying on the prices on the international market. So it means that Nigeria really, in our view, has to diversify its economy, which is also the way the politicians want to go, including in the agriculture sector, because there are a lot of potential, and it means also in terms of investments that there is a way to attract investment in this sector. If you look to our criteria to support transaction in Nigeria, we give a rating which is far positive for the medium term and for the short term transaction, meaning that the capacity to pay the import is there, but of course only depending on the revenue coming from the oil. At the moment the prices are quite high, but a few years ago it was not the case. Then the country is coming in forex difficulties, which is also part of the solution. Now regarding your question, I think you know more than me on that subject, but there are a lot of potential in various agriculture sector, and of course we have some know-how in Belgium, but at the moment we are ready to support it in terms also of financing some transaction. And there I have to admit that in the future we have a special program regarding the social incentive for sustainable development, including agriculture and food. So this kind of seminar today is important because we bring together potential actors from both sides, from both countries, or from countries, and there we have capacities to support them.
I want to pick up on something you said. You said you have a numbering system that you use. How did you come about that number for Nigeria? Is it the same across the whole country? Are you considering different states might have different needs? And how does that again cascade to the farmer who has that one plot of land or who's growing ginger and looking to export? You know, what's the line like from where you are to where they are? And that
okay, so we have the credit agency are part of an OECD working group, and we have built macroeconomic models where you try to analyze each and every data from countries. So it's a mix of macroeconomic data regarding, for instance, the debt or the debtness of a country, which is for Nigeria very positive. The level of debt is it's under control, it's quite low. We look also at the capacity to reimburse in terms of payment, the short term, the medium term, and the long term. And of course, you have a set of criteria regarding the governance, the legal framework, and this kind of thing. So, how to protect the external investor, what is, based on all this data, we come out with a rating. This rating is also common, the system is common for the OECD countries, but it can be applied differently from one country to the other country, depending on the percentage of what we call the analyst, the political situation. And there, in Nigeria, of course, the political situation is quite stable at the moment, but it's depending also on which part of the country. I'm not going to explain that the north is more dangerous than the south. And this is how we can try to objectivate, but it's also a system which can attract foreign investors and foreign traders.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is it's a system that's designed obviously to cover the backs for the investor. So it's there for the investor. So, Commissioner, looking at it from the farmer's point of view, who's got their back? You know, what framework are we using to make them again bankable or investable?
So, in actual fact, it's for us to structure the value chain from the upstream, midstream, and downstream. As the downstream is a function of both local and international markets. So when we have off-takers that are located within the actual value chain, to ensure for us to have farmers that meet their feedstock requirement and regulation. So for us, we are located between the deep rainforest and savanna. So we plant both the cocoa and the legumes and other grains. So we ensure that our farmers are located in a way they can produce easily for them to actually aggregate. So storage is there. So storage facility and also processing. So we ensure that what we produce, we process within the ecosystem so and make it available to the market.
But are you considering his framework, you know, what Credendo is going to use to help the investor? Are you also using that to help the farmer so that it aligns?
Yeah, so basically what we do is that we expose our farmers to credit, or sometimes it's in kind. So we give them fertilizers, we give them chemicals and seed and all that. Then we layer it with also external services for them to do the best actual practices. So that whatever they are producing, it meets the criteria for the off-taker. So the off-taker take the charge, just like you are creating an ecosystem. So where you have to take that determines what you need to do, the residual level that you need to do, the use of chemicals in a way that can meet the requirements.
So you're saying it is aligned?
It is aligned.
Okay, thank you.
Then on funding, also the funding so a typical farmer, he has the same pocket that utilizes both on-farm and off-farm expenses. So we need to structure it in a way that whatever you are giving to him doesn't divert it to another aspect of the need that you need. So for example, instead of you giving cash to them, return it to credit, or return it to current, give them the input necessary to credit, then we layer it unnecessary external services to ensure that they get the best seed and whatever what they are producing.
Thank you. But let's look at challenges and also opportunities. What sort of challenges have you faced, you know, doing business in Nigeria? And what opportunities are you creating or are you meeting?
That's a very pressing question for us at this moment, since we're in the process of setting up a dedicated budget for Nigeria, together with the European Union delegation in Abuja. So for an amount of 20 million to support local processors, agri-businesses, And so the challenges that we, in a way, Nigeria faces challenges that are common in other countries as well, regarding impact of weather, access to finance, connecting people at the bottom of the pyramid, very disconnected to markets, etc., to be able to sell their production. At the same time, what we've noticed from doing business in the past in Nigeria is that there's so we had quite some issues in structuring our transactions, mainly due to a high perceived and real transfer and convertibility risk, which was present at a few years ago when there was a huge divergence between the official and the black market rates, a shortage of dollars in the economy. I think recently, so we work through back-to-back structures, which basically means that we offer our dollar-denominated loans to a local bank, which serves as collateral for that bank to on-lend in local currency to an agribusiness in Nigeria. However, in April of this year, I think the Nigerian Central Bank determined this is no longer allowed, that the dollar is used as collateral to on-lend by the local bank. So we'll need to rethink the way we will approach. I mean, in recent times, there's also the disparity between the black market and the official rate has also narrowed or disappeared. So from that perspective, there's the investment ecosystem is better for us. But we're looking for ways to cover ourselves against the currency risk, because that's always a risk factor for us. What is our advantage? So as at FMC, we're mandated to offer market-based lending. So we need to charge market rates so as to not lead to market distortion. However, we can make certain, because in order to develop certain nascent sectors and segments of the agriculture sector, it might be that we need to apply standards that other private sector actors would not be able to do. So what we can do, or what we have done in the past, that sometimes we decide internally in case of high impact for a project, there is a way that we can carry the currency risk on our books. So the fluctuations there. I think that still leaves the transfer risk that we would face. But for now, I think there's a positive evolution on that front. I think we're also active in the north of the country. So there it really depends on region by region to see what is the security situation, how can we ensure that the agribusinesses that we support have full access to the operations at all times. Those are just a few examples.
So did I hear you say 20 million or did you say billion?
Yeah, unfortunately, our budgets are limited.
Just to be clear.
Million.
Million, is that USD?
That's euros or euros.
Okay, so euros.
Yeah.
So you've got 20 million euros allocated for Nigeria.
Yep.
Any specific sector?
So
NIPC, are you listening?
So we try to leverage the capacities of FMC with the experience in both the agriculture segment and the renewable energy segment. So we created a nexus concept that meets the two sectors. So we can basically do each sector individually, but also, for example, solar power irrigation projects, or if there's any businesses that want to reorient their production towards solar generated power instead of diesel powered generators. We offer ticket size between 1 to 5 million, so we envision to do up to 8 investments in the country with this. In the value chain, that can be for local food security, like maize and rice, but also for exports, fruits, veggies, livestock for dairy, which is also a request we received from the government in Nigeria to develop the dairy sector in cooperation with the European dairy product producers as well.
Okay, Bart, I hope you've got a B2B scheduled with NIPC and also one with Ekiti State. I just need to hold you to that.
I'm open for business.
Okay, that's good, thank you. We need to wrap up, but please, if you just go through quickly your current either challenges and also opportunities that you're
So I would say that 20 million euro, Ekiti. So we are setting up SAPs, special actual processes. We have a lot of opportunity for investments. And renewable energy, solar, storage, irrigation. Before we are not, and that's the actually the big elephant in the room for Africa. Climate change is a lot, it's causing a lot of problem for our farmers. So we are ready for that portion. So we depend on when we're ready for that's what we do. We want to change dynamics to ensure that our farmers can grow and products. So we are creating an ecosystem within Ekiti Actuals where we have industry that will be located. So power will be there, renewable energy, so that we can solar and all that. We want to ensure that whatever we produce in Ekiti are processed within Ekiti so that we can have access to that. And very close to it, we have a carbon airport that can also take the goods from Nigeria to that.
So what's your ask?
So we have opportunities within the actual partnership in Ekiti to invest in our actual processes. Where we have need for investors to set up your processing plant, right? To process, whether it's want to process rice, as is doing. So we have a dairy company so that very well, it's the private sector very well, and it's doing very well.
So we have a match already for dairy.
Yeah,
You shake hands.
Yeah, for dairy, for rice, for meals, and all the actual products. And then we produce a lot of cocoa. Our cocoa is one of the best in the world with the unique flavor, unique flavor. So we can reach out also for all the investors that are coming.
Nabil, what's one from?
I will say I will give two examples of the way we could support transaction. First, you mentioned an investment of 20 million, which would be available if it would be invested and partially used by a Belgian company. We can support it by insuring the transaction. Secondly, Commissioner was mentioning the agriculture sector, cacao, rice. So there's a lot of potential. What my company can do is also secure the trade transaction. Meaning, you have an importer, an exporter, you have payment term, and you need also to give some credit during this payment term. And that, therefore, we can also provide some insurance and security regarding the payment of this credit term. Basically, you give 30, 60, 90 days before the delivery of the goods and the payment of those goods. And during this part, you have credit. And this is the way where we can secure the transaction by providing security regarding the risk of non-payment, both import and export.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We have to wrap it up. Thank you so much for your time. Let's have a clap. Okay.